Welcome to our video on citing sources in MLA format. MLA stands for Modern Language Association, and this is the citation format you'll typically be expected to use in English papers and other liberal arts subjects. But always be sure you know which citation format your professor requires, because there are other formats besides MLA. It's very important that you cite sources properly in your essay in order to avoid plagiarism. It may be said that avoiding plagiarism is what this is all about, so let's take a moment to consider just what plagiarism means. According to Oxford's dictionary, plagiarism is the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. Sometimes plagiarism involves copying a whole essay or paragraph that someone else wrote, which is obviously cheating. But you can plagiarize without meaning to, by failing to cite an idea you got from someone else and put in your own words, or using a sentence or unique phrase from another text without putting it in quotation marks. In order to avoid plagiarism, it's crucial that you remember these points. Be sure to put quotation marks around any sentence or identifiable phrase you took from a source. Even if you state an idea from a source in your own words, you must cite that information. Avoiding plagiarism is a matter of academic integrity, which MCCC defines as the honest, fair, and continuing pursuit of knowledge, free from fraud or deception. You can find specific information about Mercer's academic integrity policies by visiting the link at the bottom of this slide. The consequences for plagiarism can be very serious. Shown here is what Mercer's website has to say about it. Note that a violation of academic integrity can result not just in failing an assignment, but failing the course. Furthermore, violations are reported to the Academic Integrity Committee, which may impose disciplinary penalties beyond those imposed by course instructors. To avoid plagiarism, you should be conscientious about citing sources in your essay. This video will provide a basic overview of MLA citations, but for more detailed guidelines, we recommend using Purdue's Online Writing Lab. The Purdue OWL website is a very extensive resource where you can find answers to all your citation needs. They offer examples of how to cite various types of sources, as well as general information about the MLA format, and whole sample essays that show correct MLA formatting. Simply go to owl.purdue.edu, be sure to select the Online Writing Lab with the logo shown here, and then scroll down and select the MLA Guide, then MLA Formatting and Style Guide. A number of links will appear on the left side of the web page, and if you take a moment to explore those links, you'll find an answer to just about any question regarding MLA citations. Here are the essentials you should be aware of. There are two parts to MLA citation, and they always work together. You can't have one without the other. The Works Cited page will be a list of sources on a separate page at the end of your essay. In-text citations are brief references to sources which must be included in the essay itself, whenever you directly quote or paraphrase a source. The reader of your essay will be able to tell from in-text citations where a quote or piece of information came from, and they should then be able to flip to the Works Cited page and see more information about that source. So, each source you've cited in your essay should be included on the Works Cited page, and likewise, each source on the Works Cited page should be cited somewhere in your essay. Here's an example of a Works Cited page. You can find other examples on Purdue OWL. Note that the words Works Cited are centered at the top, and this would be the top of a new separate page at the end of your essay. The entire Works Cited page is double-spaced, without any extra space between entries. The sources are listed in alphabetical order, and each is indented with what's called a hanging indent, meaning that only the first line is not indented. This example shows 4 different types of sources, each of which can be looked up on OWL. We have here a work in an anthology, a web page, a whole book, and an article from a journal. Different information is required for different types of sources, but note the similarities. In each case, the entry begins with an author's last name, followed by their first name and the title of their work. If a source doesn't have an author, the Works Cited entry starts with the title instead. Keep in mind that both on the Works Cited page and elsewhere in your essay, the titles of short works like articles, poems, etc. get put in quotation marks, whereas the titles of long works like whole books get put in italics. Remember, the Works Cited should be on a separate page at the end of your essay. Entries must be in alphabetical order. If a source has no author, begin that entry with the title and place it in the appropriate spot alphabetically. The hanging indent can be a tricky thing to accomplish. Here's the easiest way to do it if you're using Microsoft Word on your computer. First, highlight the entire section of text that you want to give a hanging indent. Then, on the toolbar under Home, click the small arrow to the right of Paragraph, and under Special, choose Hanging, as shown here. If you're in a Google Doc, after highlighting the text, you would go to Format, then Align and Indent, then Indentation Options, and Special Indent Hanging. In-text citations will appear in the body of your essay whenever you quote or paraphrase information from a source. This only requires the author's last name and a page number if the source has them. If the source has no author, its title or a shortened version of the title should go here along with the page number. Note that the period at the end of the sentence always goes after the citation in parentheses. Remember, both direct quotes and paraphrases of others' ideas must be cited in your essay. If a source has no author, cite the title or a shortened version of the title in parentheses instead. Once again, to learn more about MLA citations, visit owl.purdue.edu. Best of luck in all your writing endeavors.